Hi everyone, and welcome back to my bag collection video part 2. If you haven't already seen part 1, make sure to check it out using the link right here. As usual, if you love bags, please make sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and do leave me a comment below because I love hearing your thoughts. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So this bag has a little bit of a long story, so I thought I'd start with it and get it out of the way, and then we can sort of try and speed it up a bit. But basically, when I was thinking about getting this bag, I really wanted a bag that was kind of like my Loewe puzzle bag, just slightly smaller and a little bit more formal looking so that I could use it for work. And so I was looking for something that was elegant but still discreet and formal, but also not so formal that I could only use it for work. So, you know, I wasn't looking for like a laptop carrying kind of bag or like a tote bag or anything like that. So anyway, I knew it was quite a specific thing I was looking for, and in my mind, I definitely thought about some kind of Boston bag, like the Louis Vuitton Speedy or the Celine Boston bag. But the Louis Vuitton Speedy was a little bit too loud for me. You know, it's the monogram canvas, it's pretty recognizable by now. And the Speedy in particular is such a recognizable bag that I just didn't even consider it. It wasn't for me. I just felt like the Celine and the LV Boston bags were actually quite similar looking, and I almost felt like the Celine Boston would always live in the Speedy's shadow because it just kind of looked like it wanted to almost be a replacement or like a substitute Louis Vuitton Speedy bag. And in that way, I just didn't feel like it had a strong enough, unique character of its own that I would want to have a Celine Boston bag. So I also decided against that bag. I hope that kind of made sense. Let me know what you think about those bags because I'm really curious now. Fast forward some period of time, and one of my closest friends, who's also super into luxury bags, was telling me about how obsessed she was with the Fendi Peekaboo bag and how she really wanted to add that to her collection. And I had never really thought about the brand Fendi when I was thinking about bags. I don't know why. But since my friend was, obsessed with this bag, I thought, okay, let me go and check out this bag and, have a look into the Fendi brand. And so I started doing my research, and while I was doing this research, I came across this By The Way bag. And it was like one of those instant things. I think I had built it up so much in my head that I almost pictured this bag. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I've been looking for. And so even though I was super shocked that I hadn't come across this before and that my research didn't turn up this bag, I was super happy and relieved in the end. So that's the story of this bag. Sorry it was a little bit long. I have done a pros and cons review video of this bag that you can check out here if you want to know more about the bag's features. So I'm just not going to go into that stuff now. And because of the similarities that I do think this bag does have to the Loewe puzzle, I plan to do a comparison video between the two bags, so make sure to watch out for that too. But yeah, that's the story of why I added this to my collection. So we're going from a pretty sizable bag to a mini bag now. This Gucci Soho flap bag, which I had to Google for the name because I didn't buy this bag, was gifted to me by my mum, who basically recently, when she was tidying the house, she found it sitting in a box in the basement, and she'd completely forgotten about the fact that she had this bag. And then she was telling me how she used to carry it a lot when she was younger, and she would go out to like events and stuff, and she just completely forgotten about it. So obviously at some point in time, the bag just kind of fell out of circulation. I guess just as her life evolved and her style changed, she just stopped grabbing this bag. And so when she found it, she was like, you should take it because you're gonna appreciate and actually use this bag more at this stage of your life. And she wasn't wrong, because even though I would never choose a bag like this myself, it's actually gotten a lot of use since being in my collection, because this adorable Gucci bag actually carries a lot of stuff for a mini bag. I think it's because of how soft the leather is, and like how, I don't know, like, I don't know what this word is, expandable. It's not really expandable, but like you can kind of stuff the bag with a decent amount of stuff. Like at least my phone fits in perfectly with space to spare. Like, you know, you can still fit like a little card holder, like a lipstick, some concealer. I'm just trying to think what other things you might want to bring when you're carrying a bag like this. But you know, it's a really decently sized bag, and the design is so cute. It's just a very cute little bag. It has this, you know, beautiful, my mom said it was champagne gold chain, but actually it looks very silvery to me. But I don't know if that's just because, you know, over time the sort of champagne gold has rubbed off a little bit. But in any case, it's a very cute, casual but fancy bag. At least that's the vibe it gives me, especially with the tassel and everything. So it's not a design that I actually see anymore, but I don't know if anyone else has one of these ones. I actually had to Google really hard to find the name of this particular model. So I think at least the name that I keep coming up with is the Gucci Soho flap bag. So yeah, let me know if you guys have one of these. But yeah, this is definitely a lovely addition to my collection. I love the fact that my mum used this one first. It's in still such good quality and it's in such good condition. And I love that she passed it on to me. I mean, I don't have another bag like that in my collection. This is the only one that my mum has previously used and then given to me. And so actually I hold it very dearly, and I think it's a particularly meaningful bag in my collection. So I just don't see myself ever getting rid of this. This will just be my permanent collection. But yeah, let me know if you guys have this bag or have seen other people wear it, because I've also not really seen other people wear it. Anyway, I'll move on from this bag now. So sticking with the mini bag, I thought I'd show you my only other mini bag in my collection, which is this Celine clutch with chain. Not the most innovative of names for this bag, but it literally is what looks like a little clutch bag, or even like a makeup bag with a chain. Anyway, this Celine bag doesn't have much of a backstory. I mean, truth is, I convinced myself that I needed a bag that I would use just for my card, my phone, and my keys, but not necessarily a going out kind of bag, just something to use casually. So just something that functions like a pocket, but, you know, bearing in mind that so much of women's clothes still don't have pockets. What is up with that, by the way? story for another day, or a rant for another day. But anyway, I was just kind of thinking of like a really small bag. I came across this Celine bag. I just thought it was so cute, and it does have like the Celine canvas all over, but this, I think, at least this colorway is a lot less in your face. So it also comes in the sort of classic dark brown monogram style canvas. I'll put a photo up. That's probably a better way to do it. But I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me in that colorway. But I did love this particular color, and I thought it was such a cute, like summery kind of little bag. I didn't really think it through, if I'm honest, before I bought the bag. It was definitely an impulse buy. That said, I have used this bag way more than I expected to, because I think what I never really thought about when I bought it was that this bag is perfect for traveling. Yeah, I know it's a bit counterintuitive, but basically when I go traveling, I almost always will definitely bring a big bag of some sort, whether it's a tote bag or a backpack or a canvas bag, just something that I throw all my stuff in to bring onto the plane. So it'll be like my passport, my neck pillow, you know, like you just bring so much stuff onto the plane. You need a big bag. And so I always will bring a big bag. And then when I come to pack, I never really have a bag in my collection that I want to bring abroad for various reasons. You know, I don't want it to get stolen. I don't want it to get lost in transit. I never really thought this was an issue. What I tended to used to do was I would just travel with my big bag and use that big bag everywhere we went. But of course, you know, occasionally when you're traveling, you know, you might want to go to a nice dinner, or you might want to go to like a nice event, or, you know, just wander around the city and take some nice photos without lugging this huge bag around with you. And so this bag is like the best bag for traveling because it's canvas, so I don't really need to worry about, you know, being caught out in the rain. I don't need to really worry about the bag scratching in any way. It's like pretty not indestructible, but you know what I mean. It's pretty immune to that kind of damage. And it fits like just the essentials. But honestly, if you're traveling, you're staying in a hotel, you know, when you just want to step outside the hotel to like check out the nearby streets, or like go to do something casual, and you don't want to bring your massive bag around, not only is this bag tiny, so it's really easy to pack, it's just a very good backup in case you want a small bag. So I haven't really used this bag in the States where I currently am. I also wasn't really using the bag in the UK when I was there, but whenever I would travel to another country, that's when I would use this bag. And to that extent, I have actually used this bag, I think, on every single trip I have been on since having this bag. So, surprising thing I never thought about when I was impulse buying this bag, but very happy to now have this in my collection. People always ask me about this bag, whether it's in the background in my videos. I know some of you guys commented asking me what this bag was. I wasn't trying to be coy. I just wanted to give it the attention it deserves. I also get asked about this bag on the street, and that's, I feel like that's when you know this bag is eye-catching in some way. As like, you can kind of see it's such a unique shape, and you know, it doesn't obviously come from any particular brand, but you can kind of tell that, you know, someone's put some thought into this. So anyway, as you've seen from the shots of the bag, this is the Adven Age bag. It's actually created by this really young brand based in New York that believe in slow and responsible fashion. And so I bought this bag when the brand had only this style of bag. Like, this was their only style available on their website. And I think it was only available in 2 colors. It was black and I think tan, I want to say. It was either tan or white. I can't really remember anymore. It was quite a few years ago. But there was nothing else. This was their very first design. And they even said on their website that they purposefully take time to launch a new design because they don't want to rush into it and push out, you know, tens of hundreds of designs like a lot of other brands do. Instead, they really want to spend time to choose the right materials, design the best kind of bag for you, the user. And that really kind of spoke to me. I felt like, yeah, shouldn't all brands be operating this way? And I think still to this day, I recently checked, the brand only has 6 designs in total. And I had bought this bag in May of 2021. So it's been almost 3 years and the brand has only come out with 5 more designs of bags. You know, that is very unusual for a bag brand or any fashion brand. That's really slow fashion and I kind of love it. So looking back, I was trying to remember how I first came across this brand, but honestly, my memory is a bit hazy. What I do remember is really getting into my bag obsession phase and wanting to find some more affordable quality bags that were beautifully designed, high quality, in its workmanship and leather, but still, you know, affordable to a regular person. And so, you know, this is, I think, one of those brands that I found. And I do remember initially being a bit hesitant to order because I was in London at the time. And, you know, I know nothing about this New York brand. And I couldn't go, you know, in person anywhere to actually feel and see one of their bags in person. But this shape I just really loved it so much. I feel like something about it really intrigued me. And so I bit the bullet. I ordered it online. It got delivered all the way to the UK. And I remember it came in like this this like cardboard box. And it wasn't like a cardboard box like your Amazon box. It was like this box that was specially designed so that you could reuse it. Okay, this isn't really making any sense. I'll try and find a photo and insert it, but basically I did actually end up reusing it to plant some stuff on my balcony. And so, you know, the process, I remember just being so refreshing and new to me. So like, not only was the bag beautifully designed, but I just remember this brand really trying to do something different in the industry. And I believe, although obviously I haven't bought a bag from them since, but I believe that's what they're still trying to do. And so, you know, definitely do go check them out if you guys are into slow fashion or, you know, even just minimalist styles, because, you know, if this gives you an idea of, you know, the rest of their bags, I think they're all pretty minimalist in style. So if that's your thing, definitely go and check them out. So yeah, so back to this bag. It's super sturdy. It's such a fun shape. You know, I love that it's created all this shape, all this space in its design, and yet they've somehow managed to design the bag so that it holds like a lot of stuff. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now because it's not an in-depth review, but I will be coming out with one of those so that you guys can learn more about this bag. But just for now, I wanted to say that it's basically, yeah, I can't fault this bag. I wish the brand came out with more designs because I feel like, you know, they have such a special talent here, but I really respect the brand's vision and their values. And so I think I'll always be checking their website to see when their next unique design comes out. And yeah, I can't wait until I find another really exciting bag that they come out with, just like the Age. So yeah, I really enjoy this one. But obviously this is a bag collection video, so I'm gonna move on to my next bag. But as I said, I will try my best to do an in-depth review of this particular bag in the future. So for those of you who have watched part 1 of my bag collection, you'll know this brand and how I came across it. If you haven't watched part 1 of this bag collection video, then again, I've linked it up here. Do watch that one first. But in terms of this bag itself, it was winter in London. I remember I wanted a puffy casual bag to wear with my wintry sort of like comfort outfits. And lots of designers at the time were coming out with puffy bags. I think it started gaining popularity after Bottega Veneta suddenly just started trending everywhere. And I think they came out with the puffy cassette bag. And that was, you know, every person in Hollywood seemed to be wearing it. And so everyone was obsessed with this bag. And then I think Saint Laurent came out with this like puffy flat bag, very different in styles, but like this puffy vibe was sort of trending for a while. And, you know, I thought they were all beautiful in terms of their styles, very different, but they were just a bit too high up in the luxury scale for my needs at the time. I just wanted a puffy style bag to go with my UK wintry weather, giving off that sort of comfy, relaxed look. And bear in mind, you know, winter in London is like sleet and rain and wind and like no sunlight. A BV cassette or like a YSL puffy bag just didn't seem to fit in with the overall feel of a London winter. So anyway, one day, one of the Demellier emails landed in my inbox. It had just launched this new style of puffy bag, and I was like, okay, I think this is what I'm looking for. I kind of did a little bit, I tried to look for reviews. I don't think there were many at the time. I haven't checked recently, but yeah, I couldn't find many reviews. So I was kind of umming and ahhing, but when I kept looking at the photos, I realized what I was really drawn to was this clasp. I feel like it's so beautiful. And there's just something about the contrast between like the softness of the puffy design contrasted with this angular, like strong looking clasp that I really enjoyed. Like it just kept drawing me back. So I didn't spend that much time researching and thinking about this bag, but just every time I looked at it, I felt like I was drawn to this, like this particular contrast. And I loved like tiny details about it, you know, how this isn't a straight line across, which most flat bags are. It has this, I don't know, it has this like nook in the flap. I just thought that was so cool. I love the gold hardware. It is quite hard to open, as you can see. And it just seemed like quite a spacious bag, and you know, it was just what I was looking for at that time. So I bought it online and have pretty much loved it since. The only thing that does bug me, and I'll say this now very quickly, is that this is one of very few bags in my collection that cannot stand up on its own. I didn't think this would bother me this much, but it really bothers me because I want my bag to just stand on the table. But I'm disappointed every time. So yeah, other than that, great bag, super casual, fits my winter look, gives me a lot of comfort even just to like hold it and like feel its puffiness. So love it in my collection. Really wish they would have made it stand up on its own. You can't have everything. So this gorgeous bag is another Loewe. I have 3 Loewe bags in my collection. This particular style wasn't in production for very long, I don't think. I just remember the Barcelona style, when I first came across it, was a smooth, shiny leather that looked very rigid, and because the shape of the bag is already so rigid, I didn't really want the leather to continue to contribute to that rigidity. So even though I love this triangle closure at the front, which has always been on, I think, all the variations of the Barcelona style, I just never really wanted to get the smooth leather one. And then Loewe, without warning, came out with this grained leather version. And this one is quite different from the smooth leather version. I'll give you like a close-up so you can see. It's very soft. And something that I've grown to really love is it comes with this thick strap. Wait, I'm gonna show you guys because it is like a really cool strap. It's a really thick strap and it really gives the bag quite a lot of edginess, I feel like. And it's a strap that, you know, has this signature Loewe logo on it on the side, but I feel like the Loewe logo is pretty low-key still. I don't think it's that recognizable as logos go. Anyway, it came with this thick leather strap and I thought that was super cool. I love this triangle dip in, dip out closure. I think it's so unique. I don't really know of another luxury bag that does this. Obviously, you know, convenience-wise, definitely not the most convenient bag to open and close, but another really cool feature about this one is that it does have this easy to reach in back pocket, which I do use a lot. One more thing about this one is that it also came with a chain, and so I love that Loewe designed this clearly thinking you can dress it up with the chain and you can also dress it down and casual and edgy with the thick strap. It just felt like a very cool bag. I added this bag to my collection. There's not much to say about this one. There are a couple of drawbacks to this bag, especially because I've used this one for a couple of years now, so I can say quite confidently about the pros and cons of this bag. But again, this is a bag collection video, so I'm trying to move this along, but I'm gonna try and do an in-depth review video of this bag, so watch out for that. So another impulse buy, if I'm honest, but one that I don't regret. I was actually at Bicester Village in England with my mum. We weren't really shopping for anything in particular. We were just kind of walking around and checking out what was on sale and all of that. And we wandered into YSL with no expectation to find anything because most bags in there are like 30 to 40% off, so they're still pretty expensive. And then I saw this bag. I don't know if you can really tell through the camera, but it doesn't look like a brand new bag. It kind of looks a little bit used. Not in a way that makes the bag look less nice. I actually think it adds to the bag. But anyway, when I saw it, I thought maybe it was the lady's own bag that she put down to try on other bags. But then when she walked away, I was like, either she's forgotten her bag or this bag is being sold. And it's quite pretty, so I wanted to go check it out. So I went to check it out. I picked it up and it was like picking up butter. Like this leather, I feel like you can almost see it through the screen, like how shiny and just, ooh, how soft and just so supple. This leather is definitely the softest, most supple leather that I have in my collection. And the reason which I later learned, but I didn't realize at the time, is because it's lambskin. So it's, you know, anyone who has a lambskin bag will know it's so soft. It's so nice to touch, but it's super hard to maintain. And that's why, even though the bag was being sold, it was already kind of looking, it just didn't look, you know, like brand shiny new or anything. Sorry, I should show you guys the bag more. Like, I don't know if you can really tell through the camera, but it doesn't look like a brand new bag. So just out of curiosity, I opened the flap, find the price tag, and I was like, what? Because the bag was being sold for about, I think it was around 65% of a discount. And I couldn't quite understand why this bag in particular seemed to have so much more of a discount than the other bags that they were being sold in the same outlet store. So we eventually found a sales associate to ask, and he actually explained to us that this particular bag had been on display for a year or so, and it was the last one they had in store. And so it was kind of being sold as like a display item. He showed us actually when you open the bag, on the inside of the flap, there were some like minor scratches. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, kind of like just minor stuff. And so he was like, so we have to sort of discount the price to reflect these facts. And I was thinking, I can barely see those scratches. That's a really good sale. So like my mum and I were like, let's not rush into this. So let's walk around and think about it. And like, I remember we walked around and, you know, no other store was doing a discount so good. We went back into the store, I tried it on, and like, I was playing with the straps and, you know, like doing it crossbody, doing it on the side, doing it over the shoulder. Even though I don't think this bag fits in necessarily with the rest of my collection. I don't know, do you guys agree with that? It's definitely like a bit louder than the rest of the bags in my collection, at least from my perspective. For some reason, I just really liked the bag when I was playing around with it in the store. And my mum was also, you know, my mum's like an enabler. She was like, yeah, it looks so nice on you, you know, you should get it, it's such a good discount. And so it really didn't take much convincing. We walked out with this gorgeous Jamie bag, and it's now sitting in my collection, and I'm actually really happy with it. It's definitely an impulse buy that I do not regret. It always gets compliments. I almost really enjoy how much it stands out in my collection. But let me know what you think about this one. So this piece is one of my more recent pieces. I bought this just after I moved to California. As much as I love buying and using my bags, I actually really love discovering new brands and sort of seeing through their designs how different regions of bag designers design their bags differently. Gosh, that sounded like some sort of tongue twister. But anyway, so for example, you know, I found Demellier because I was in London and I really wanted to find like a London-based brand. And so when I moved to California, I was like, I should really try and find a California-based bag brand. I did actually struggle quite a bit to find a brand that had designs that sort of worked with my style. But I came across this brand, I still can't pronounce this brand, like Staud. And if you go on to Staud and check their website, you know, their bags are actually quite loud. They're very colorful, they're very cool, not quite my style. For some reason, I came across this much more minimalistic bag, and I was kind of intrigued basically about the brand. And the first thought I had when I saw this bag was it really reminded me of the Bottega Veneta mini Jodie. Anybody else? You know, I think it's like the double knot and the sort of like, it's not quite the curve that the mini Jodie has, but I don't know, Is it just me? Can you guys see that? Like, does this remind you of the BV Mini Jodie? Anyway, I really saw that and I felt like, oh, this is the kind of minimalistic, simple, understated look that I like. And, you know, I wanted to try out a California brand, and so I went for it and I bought this online. It was fairly affordable as luxury bags go, I remember. And it's like a very simple sort of no frills kind of bag. There's not even an inside pocket, like it's just a little opening and, you know, you dump your stuff in there. I did do a first impressions video of this bag, so if you want to check that out, feel free to go and do that. I haven't really used this bag much since I got it. For some reason, and I don't know what the reason is, it's not like there's some fundamental flaw in this bag, but I just don't seem to ever grab this bag when I head out. This one just kind of just doesn't really ever, I don't know, it's just not something I reach for. So I really don't know why I don't gravitate towards this bag. I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts, again, leave it in the comments below. But yeah, it's a very pretty bag. It's just not something I'm reaching for right now. So we've come to the last bag in my collection. This is the Loewe Luna. It's really new. I got this last month, and this is the third Loewe in my collection that I mentioned earlier. So if it wasn't obvious by now, I love Loewe. I had been eyeing up the Luna for a while because I basically wanted to get a moon-shaped bag. I think I was kind of influenced because, you know, there was this period where the Prada underarm bag was like super trendy, and it spurred all these other bag makers, whether that's like high street bag makers or whether it's, you know, luxury bag makers, to make different variations of moon bags. And when Loewe came out with the Luna, it came out, or at least I first saw the leather version. And the leather version to me just felt like any other brand's moon bag. You know, at the time there were so many. I think even now there are so many different variations of all leather or all nylon moon bags. And so I wasn't that impressed with that design. But then it was like Loewe read my mind or something, because then they came out with this combination, which is like a canvas body with obviously Loewe's logo printed all over it, and with still this like leather detailing on the strap and also at the closure of the bag. And I don't know why, but this simple change of the face of the moon bag, I felt really elevated the whole design. It made it much more unique amongst the other moon bags. And even though I'm not usually a big fan of monogramming, especially with logos, because I feel like it can get quite in your face, I feel like the Loewe logo is quite subtle. So I don't know if you guys have ever looked into this particular thing, but the logo is actually 4 L's for Loewe, but pieced together to look kind of like some sort of like flowery pattern. So from afar, I feel like unless you're in the know, it just looks like a patterned piece of fabric. At least that's how I feel. Let me know if you feel like this is in your face. But I feel like it's still pretty minimalistic. And what I really love about this design is I think the contrast now between the canvas and the smoothness of the leather really makes the leather stand out. And that's why I love this bag, because Loewe is known for its leather quality, and it should be. Like the leather is so beautiful. And I feel like almost having an all leather version, ironically, wasn't highlighting just how nice the leather was, whereas having this contrast does. Again, I hope this is making sense and you can kind of see what I'm saying through a screen. But anyway, I saw this design and I knew that this was the Luna version that I wanted. And the best thing about this was it was actually being sold in an outlet in Japan. So I actually got a 30% discount off the normal selling price. So yeah, so I'm really happy with this purchase so far. I don't want to go into pros and cons because I've only had this bag for a month. I haven't had much of a chance to actually use it. And of course, I don't want to start, you know, talking about the bag's features or like how I found using it when I actually haven't had much of a chance to use it. But when I do, I will be certainly putting out a in-depth review of this bag, so make sure to watch out for that. But for now, I'm just happy to have another Loewe in my collection. Well, if you've watched this far, I hope you really enjoyed the video. As I said in part 1, I'm back on YouTube now and I have so many exciting ideas for new videos that I can't wait to share with you on this channel. Apart from in-depth reviews, which I will of course continue to do, I also want to make sort of different kinds of videos sharing some thoughts that I have on choosing bags and what to look out for if you're buying your very first luxury bag. I might even tackle the subject of why I don't have a Chanel or an Hermes in my collection. So if any of those things sound interesting to you, if you're a bag fanatic, if you're a casual bag user, or you're just getting into the world of bags, please subscribe to my channel so that I can keep making videos like this. I would love for you to leave me comments down below about my collection, about your collection. If you have any video ideas, I love reading your comments so much. It makes me feel like I'm part of some sort of bag loving community, and that just makes me so happy. So thank you so much for spending this time with me, and until next time.